All right, it is Friday, September 13th. I am in the East Pioneer Mountains. I'm headed up the Birch Creek Road to Dinner Station Campground, which is just a couple miles up ahead. And the destination for the day hike is right up there in that basin. The mountain that you see, and I'll zoom in on it, is Torrey Peak. It is the second highest peak in the range, and the lake sits right in that cirque below it. It's a fairly easy hike. It's called Deerhead Lake, and it's usually I've fished it a lot over the years in the early season and again in the late season. I was in there 3 years ago. We'll see how it is. Okay, so it's a little after 9:30. This is Deerhead Lake in the East Pioneers. Took me about 40 minutes to get in here. I chatted with a gentleman down at the trailhead who is headed up on a quad to some lakes, some upper lakes on the Birch Creek Road that I've never fished. This lake in here, it's been 3 years since I fished it. I used to fish it pretty regularly, early and late. There's already a little bit of wind on the lake. It is supposed to get windier later, but so this lake, so for many years this lake was stocked on like a 4-year stocking schedule with Yellowstone cutthroats, and then in about 2006 they converted everything over here, all the high mountain lakes, to west slopes. And this lake was last stocked in 2016. It turns out, though, that there is natural reproduction in here. Every time I've been in here, I catch actually mostly Yellowstones and hybrids with a few west slopes. And apparently, from what I understand, 2016 may very well be the last plant for this lake. There's just too, there's enough natural reproduction for the fishery, so stocking it every 3 years just adds to the fish population and kind of reduces the size. So in the future, I'd expect to see a little bit bigger fish out of here, maybe. I've always done well in here, particularly in August and September with ants. So I may try that today. Generally what I do is over here, you can't really see it, but by that little point, there's a depression just to the left of that in early season that'll actually be part of the lake, and there's a shoal there, and that's usually where I fish. So anyway, we'll give it a try. So this is where I'm going to start fishing here. As you can maybe see, this is an old irrigation reservoir. They really, as far as I know, they no longer use it for that. So it's more or less just a lake. Interestingly, this right here in front of me, I've never seen the water level this high. Usually, even in early season, if you're careful, you can cross dryly on these rocks. This is actually the highest I've ever seen this lake, which is kind of interesting. There's actually a fish over here that just rose. And in here, what happens, even though this piece here is shallow, fish, particularly in the early season, they make it in here. Not only have I caught fish out of here before, out of this little lobe here, but there's actually some rises over here. So this might be something to try later. There's a fish right there. Okay, I'm in position to make my first cast. I will admit to being lazy. I'm using a floating fly line, and I started off with a balanced micro leech and a chironomid under a strike indicator. instead of the ant. This glassy water and ant might be good. Right over here to my left, maybe 25, 30 yards is actually the deepest part of the lake. Well, here's my first fish. I'm not sure what happened here. Well, I just lost him too. Nice cut. He's about a foot long. Well, here we go. I hope this is my first fish. This is a strange... Well, I lost him too. All right, this has been a crazy 45 minutes or an hour. I have hooked and lost my first fish about 3 times on this balanced leech. And what's crazy in here, I don't know what, the lake level's higher than I've ever seen it. And some of the fish in here are way bigger than I've ever seen. Normally these fish are 10 to 12 inches. And I have seen quite a few of them that are 13, 14, maybe even 15. And this guy here is a nice fish. He's mostly a Yellowstone. And I got him on the chironomid of all things. The other fish have been taking this balanced leech and they're, and I'm losing them. This is a nice fish. All right, I just just caught a fish, my first fish, and here's another one. This is a little guy. He's about 11 inches. This would be a normal fish for this lake, but boy, I'm seeing a whole lot of bigger fish in this lake that I'm not used to seeing. There we go. All right, here we have another one. Just after I released the other fish. Now this guy caught on the leech. He caught on the balanced leech, and he's one of the only one that I've hooked on this thing that I managed to get to hand here. As you can see, so much for the stocking of West Slopes. Everything I've caught has been a Yellowstone or a hybrid. Not that I'm complaining. Now here we have what feels like a very nice fish. He's about 12, 13 inches. This is a nice fish. This is a little bit nicer fish for this lake. Oh yeah, he's nice. This is all right. Look at him. Look at him. So he took the chironomid. That's a West Slope Yellowstone hybrid is what that is. So for the last few minutes, this has been, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, this has been like shooting ducks in a barrel a little bit. Little Yellowstone. Kind of an average fish for the lake. back you go. Well, this feels like another decent fish. I noticed in here the bite has slowed, largely because I've caught a lot of fish. And there he goes, and he was about 12 inches. He was a nice solid 12-inch fish. This appears to be another decent fish out of this lake. The chironomid is shredded, so I got to go replace it. Although they're still hitting it. Now this appears to be a hybrid. Okay, so it's almost 1 o'clock. I've had pretty good luck this morning. One of the things I've noticed, though, is I've noticed quite a few fish cruising in close to shore. Some of them have been very nice sized fish. So what I've done here is I've rigged up my second rod with an intermediate line, and I've got a olive micro leech on the bottom, and then a Denny's AP emerger on a dropper, kind of up the fly line about 3 kilometers. So give it a go. So a little strategy worked a little bit. Got this guy, and he's all right. I just don't know now if I can get him. He's got me tangled here. So that ain't good. See if I can get to him without really, he's got me in a pretty good weed here. Oh yeah, he does. Amazing how these fish do, because I wasn't paying attention. That's a nice fish though. See if I can get to him without yeah, pretty smart. They go right for the, yeah, he's got me good in here. I figure if I get enough of these weeds, I think he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. So here we go. Here's another one. Just lost that one fish and just lost this guy. So I've had 2 hookups on back-to-back casts here on my first 2 casts, so that's good. Well. So I don't know. I've caught well over 10 fish today. This appears to be a West Slope. So as I mentioned earlier, they were stocking this lake every 3 years with West Slopes, and it was last stocked in 16. Yep, this is a West Slope. This is the first one I've caught all day. First west slope that I've caught all day. Everything else has been either a Yellowstone or a hybrid. It's a pretty little cut. I took the AP emerger. This is a nice cut. Oh boy, yeah, he's really nice. I don't know what exactly happened here, but oh yeah, he's a pretty fish. All right, I took the AP emerger. Oh boy, this is not good, and I don't have my forceps with me. Damn it. Yeah, I know, bud. I know. All right. Now this is a little guy, which is all right. Honestly, I've caught well over 20 fish. This is actually one of the smallest of the bunch. It's actually been a good day in here. A really good day, actually. Uh-oh. Here we go. So right here, there's a marl flat that goes out here, and I've actually had really good luck with this. I've got a chironomid, a Black Sally is what it is, and then a balanced olive micro leech under a strike indicator. And I've actually had pretty good luck in this area with this today. It's actually been a good day. I've caught, like I said, I've caught well over 20 fish in here. So what we do here is we throw this out there. There's intermittent wind here. Right now it's relatively calm, and so you throw it out there and you let it sit. And a lot of times what happens from the roll casting is the fish will hear it, or they'll feel it and they'll come over there, and there's a fish messing with it right now. Okay, there it goes up. Now I missed him, so we'll let it sit there a little bit long. I missed him again. And they're tough when they're taking this balanced micro leech. They're hard to hook. I'm having trouble hooking them. I really am. Yeah, and I need to reset the strike indicator here. Seems like I'm running into two groups of fish here. There's fish that are cruising the shoreline here. Some of them are very nice size, and then there's another group out here that are offshore feeding on midges and whatever blows into the lake here. So see if we can get this out here again. And See. So I usually let it sit out there for a little bit before I start a really slow hand twist retrieve. And see, there's a fish messing with it again. I've had a lot of this today. So I'm just gently moving it. There's a fish that just rose out here. It's very slow. Again, you let it sit for a little bit. Just let it sit sometimes and pay attention. I've had that. See, I'm not paying attention and I miss that fish. So we'll let it sit out there and then I'll start a slow retrieve. We got a little bit of breeze that's come up here. And it's going to move that thing. See, and there's a fish there. And got him. And he took the chironomid. Little Yellowstone. There he goes. Well, this is going to be my final fish. I'm going to let him go and head on out of here. Another little Yellowstone cutthroat.